and I'm just gonna ask you the first question, and that is, what is your name and what do you do? Also, we need like dead silence because we only have camera audio, so we're gonna have to jug that. So, but yeah, so what is your name and what do you do?
My name is.
Oh man, before we jump into the film, you know what I'm saying, I just want to let y'all know what exactly is going on. I apologize for the abrupt change, but I had to get this point across, you know what I'm saying. I didn't want y'all jumping into the fire and not knowing what's going on. Concrete Babies though, you know what I'm saying. The premise of the film Concrete Babies is to highlight the rise and renaissance going on in the creative world in New York City, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Manhattan, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? It's real easy to believe as young black kids from the spaces that we come from and from the places that we come from that it's hard to flourish artistically and beyond that, you know what I'm saying? The premise of this film is to just showcase that, yo, there's people out there that's doing it. You know what I'm saying? And if they could do it, you could do it too. We all raised from that concrete and we all doing the best that we can to be great, you know what I'm saying? But enough of that talking though, you know what I'm saying? I think it's time to get back into the film. I gave y'all a little minute of myself, but you know what I'm saying? This might be the last time y'all see myself until the next about 15 minutes, so on and so forth. So, Concrete Babies, man, let's get back into our regularly scheduled programming, you know what I'm saying?
What is your name and what do you do?
My name is Robert Provilus. I'm a multidisciplinary artist. I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. I'm an oil painter. I paint people, black people. And I like to take my oil paintings and turn them into like wearable stuff.
Where you from?
Brooklyn, New York. Specifically, Canarsie, Brooklyn, Flossie.
How do you feel like being black has influenced your creative prowess?
I never really saw myself fully represented, and I feel like with my artwork, I serve to like represent myself and people like myself in my work.
How do you feel like being from New York, specifically Brooklyn, but you could speak on New York, and your neighborhood definitely, you know what I'm saying, because you're from Canarsie, bro, that's tough.
Yeah.
How do you feel like being from where you from in the towns influenced your art, you know what I'm saying? How do you feel like the New York, where does the New York influence come from?
Shit, I feel like New York in general has a lot of just creative energy, like for real, like growing up, I was always around like young people who always express themselves through music. So like I was always around like all my friends made music, all my friends rap, produce, something. They were always finding ways to express themselves creatively, you know what I'm saying? Like when we were really young, it was just mad kids in class who just drew and stuff like that. So like, you feel me? Like always around me growing up, Canarsie, Brooklyn, like wherever I was, like there was always creativity, like you feel me, amongst my friend groups and stuff like that. And I feel like that definitely fueled like my creativity, you know what I'm saying, for real, like, yeah, and I definitely feel like right now specifically there's like almost like an art movement in Brooklyn, like specifically New York, you know what I'm saying, and like, and that's, I'm just like one factor in that movement, you know what I'm saying, it's like a whole movement and like, almost like I'm riding the wave type of thing with like the creativity, yeah. And like I feel like my work is an effort to create some shit that would inspire, like that would directly connect with younger me. Like some shit that I would look up and see and be like, yo, like this is me, like I feel connected to this. With the same level of like skill, strategy, brushstrokes, like all those high level painting principles, just like with subject matter that directly connects to me. I feel like that's what I try to do with my artwork. Okay.
My name is Kelz, also known as Kelz2busy, and I'm a songwriter, artist, out of Brooklyn, New York.
Right.
Nah, I'm known for singing, man. You know, if you're making R&B music, I guess what they call it. voice, man. That's me in the flesh.
Alright, now get into a little like more depth of like how you started, you know what I mean, what led to your creative journey, like steps along the way that led to where you are and how you even realized you wanted to sing, you know what I'm saying?
Alright, boom. So since a youngin', man. Now I was just always surrounded by, you know, the influences of R&B culture. So like music, Soul Child, Lauryn Hill, Erykah Badu. I was listening to that shit as a youngin'. My mom really grossed me towards that category in music, and it just stuck with me. It just resonated with me. Even as a youngin', whatever I was going through in life, that shit just made me feel empowering. So I knew when coming into music, whenever I chose to do music, I would want to, you know, dive into the R&B world. So I just kept, you know, diving into my craft. It took me a little minute to, you know, get comfortable with myself. And I want to say about early 2022, I fucking made my first like actual song. Like before it was just melodies, harmonies, and shit that people would listen to on SoundCloud. If you know, you know. But yeah, I made my first song, and that shit just like went out the woodworks like faster than I expected. And shit, that made me like want to take music serious for real. I saw the potential in myself and in my team, and shit, we just took it to the next level. And I'm in a space where I create for the rest of my life type shit.
How do you feel being from New York has influenced your creative prowess, you know what I'm saying?
See, New York, shit, it's a big melting pot. You can get a little bit of everything out here. But New York, you know, the environment is cool, and if people listen to my music now, and if you really deep dive into it, I only make my music surrounding my environment. So whatever I resonate with in New York, whether it be in my neighborhood or what I see somebody else doing or what I see my friends doing, you know, I put it in the music. So New York is a huge inspiration when it comes to my music for real. Like that shit contributes to my artistry a lot.
I am Zion Mabry, aka Slim or Slim Jimz, and I am a fashion model and stylist.
What is your main medium that you use?
My main medium would be textiles. I use textiles to communicate with myself and to communicate with the masses, and it's brought me here. So I would definitely say clothing.
How do you feel being from New York has amplified your creative sense?
Being from New York has definitely allowed me to embrace my authenticity, because I feel like everyone that's from New York is just authentic in their own way and has their own demeanor and swag about them that makes them different than anyone else, because you can definitely tell when there's a barrier from someone who's from New York City and someone who isn't. Even no matter how creative they are, you can definitely tell the natural creativity that comes from someone who's born and raised in New York City. So it's definitely helped me hone my artistry and my creativity in all aspects. You know, being black was not something that I allowed to really see as a hindrance to my creativity, although it is how I identify myself. I am a black woman. However, it's not something that I allowed to prevent me from entering rooms that I know I have the equal opportunity to enter as someone who doesn't derive from a black family and who isn't associated with people of color, white people I should say. But it's definitely made my artistry way more impactful, because I don't see many black women doing what I'm doing in the way that I'm doing it when it comes to clothing. And I feel like by honing my creativity as I am, it will allow other black women to become inspired to express themselves any way they choose without barriers or without being really good at something for a black woman, just being really good at something and just so happen to be a black woman. So that's where I'm coming from with that, and I feel like it's definitely helped in a lot of senses.
Straight from the floors, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's
we
a
all
fact.
taking over. everybody's taking over. Whatever you believe in, just do that shit. Man, it's the one and only Dr. The Garmentz. I do a lot of things. I do a little bit of everything. I'm a designer. I'm a content creator. I'm just a creative as a whole, man. I just like to create. That's really what I do. So whatever you know me as creating for, that's how you know me. I'm not like, what people know me as, they know me as that in life guy. Well, you can pass me that button. Life guy, Mr. 3 Things on the TikTok. You get what I'm saying? But I be doing that. But honestly, as a whole, I just really, like, I make a lot of different content. I make fashion content, different, like, just short films, like a whole bunch of different things. Like, I just actually just really like making videos. I'm a big into videos. So I always just constantly making content. Just different things, just trying to have fun, trying to put new energy into the world and just show people what I can do, for real. Well, if you don't know, I'm really from Brooklyn, from the floors to be exact. But I would say, like, being from New York and being from Brooklyn, it really like made me who I am. Because when you walk around the city in New York and you look at everybody, like, everybody just got that energy, like, nah, we one of them. And like, growing up, I knew that I was really one of them, like, you know what I'm trying to say? So it was just like, being from New York is like, it's so much competition, it's so much different energy around you that it kind of, like, in a good way, you're able to see people that, like, are actually doing good things, but you're able to see people that's, like, not doing so well too. So it's like, you kind of got perspective of a lot of different things. So that really helped me. And also, like, within fashion, is like, New York is, like, obviously the flyest place in the world. Well, not in the world, but in America. You feel me? So that also had a huge influence on me as well too. So just like me being from New York, it gave me a lot of originality and just a lot of character. And I just knew, like, I'm different. You feel me? So New York really, we embody that as a whole.
I bet now I'm gonna ask you the first question is, what is your name, what do you do, and where you from? And go into detail about everything.
For me, my name is Ice Cold or Cole, whichever one works for you. For me, basically, I'm an event curator. I put together events for creatives, different creatives, visual artists, models, fashion designers, musicians, makeup artists, anything art related, anything community related. For me, I do it. For me, put together events around it. For me, I also want to put together media, highlighting different creatives and other endeavors. For me, just black people in full. For me, I'm a big supporter of black dreams. For me, if you chasing your dreams, you inspire me, and I want to capture it. I want to capture it, and I want to be able to uplift you and showcase you to the world, for me. So that's what I do. Outside of that, I'm also a freelance model. I like doing conceptual shoots with different photographers or cameramen or videographers, however they want to be perceived as, just to express myself in other ways than just my words. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Flatbush to be in specific, for me. Right by Prospect Park, for me, right by Crown Heights, for me. We jack all that shit. Brooklyn, I love growing up in Brooklyn because there's so much around. There's so many different type of people of different backgrounds, people with different dreams, people with different goals, and all that shit inspires me to wanna learn more, wanna do more for myself, for me, and wanna do more for others, for me. So me being where I'm from is the backbone of everything. I'm not gonna lie, for me. Like, yeah.
I bet now. All right, so now I'm gonna ask you, what's your name, who you are, where are you from in New York specifically, and what exactly is it that you do?
Okay, my name is Amaya Santiago. I'm born and raised in the Bronx, raised between the Bronx, Harlem, and the Upper West Side, actually. That's a very big staple to who I am today. but those neighborhoods I spent equal amount of time in throughout my childhood life. What I do now is kind of an extension of all the things I did when I was younger. I used to like writing, I love listening to music, and I've always loved just like creating spaces. Like I often think to myself, if I didn't live in New York, not to discourage people that don't live in New York, obviously, and not even saying to move here, because now you have the internet, you can do whatever, but in terms of like how I view humanity, every time I leave New York, I don't understand how people are existing. And I know that's like this little bubble around New York, but like whenever I leave this place, I'm like, oh my God. I feel like when you grow up in New York, you just see so many random things, you hear so much random music, like it's like a melting pot of everything. So like, I just like learned so much about everything, but being in New York is really, I think, imperative to experiencing something more universal. Like, put that into my art at the time, and just like, I don't know, I was just always making art. My family didn't know what was going on, but they're just like, you're making art, you're happy, and you're being good at the end of the day. Like, I want you to know how my brain works, how I think. Like, I'm really sad for this world, I'm very scared for this world. Like, I wish everyone could just be happier and nicer. And so I just say that in my art.
To be concrete, it's the absolutification of anything that you do. You know what I'm saying? That's where we come from, man. Hopefully this film, or just this body of work in general, kind of got that point across even a little bit, and hopefully a lot of it. I hope that y'all personally and comfortably relate to the sentiments in which we shared, and I hope this provided a sense of comfortability, relatability, and I hope that this was just a great body of work that y'all like. Me being a young creator from Brooklyn, New York, it's imperative that we create these experiences, we highlight these experiences and these people and the coalition and just the renaissance of what's going on right now in its entirety. So I appreciate y'all for tapping in, I appreciate y'all for supporting what's going on, and you know what I'm saying, until next time, friends. It's Concrete Babies, man. We out.
See you. I was wondering, can we go screw again? If you tryna hang out with the crew again, can we start over brand new again? I'm tryna see you in the A. I call up bro walking bright day. If he wanna feed it, he gotta pay. That's how on me, you know I'm spread. No, I can't mess with no thought. I call up Nino, pull up on the hop. I call up bro, he gon' pass me the chop. I can use both hands when I'm shooting the glove. I heard your song and your music a flop. We was moving in bricks when we was on the block. Around 24 hours a day, I can't stop. Yeah, can't let nobody, I feel like Lorraine. Pull up on him, he letting it rain. I got a beam right on top of the cake. Can't fuck with niggas, they moving.